All right, Ben, moving on to our next accuracy demonstration here. We're back to our expert 22 rifle, shooting some traditional 22s. Why don't you walk us through kind of what we're going to do on this one, and then we'll get shooting.
Yeah, so when you say traditional, when you think of 22s, for the most part our bullets are lead. Whether that's copper-plated lead, there are different styles, meaning like hollow points, round nose, we've got a Dynapoint. There's just various different bullet designs there, but they're all based around solid lead.
So we're gonna shoot that against our 21 sharp jacketed hollow point. You know, I've seen some of our competition. We don't typically do this, but I've actually seen them say like they have a jacketed 22. Is that can you actually jacket a 22 long rifle projectile?
I mean, it's very difficult to do that with that heel on there. So if you imagine, maybe we'll show some infographics of this, but if you look at 21 sharp, we kind of show that compared to a 22, but that heel coming down makes it very difficult to make a true traditional jacket. Maybe you can heavy plate them. Someone may call that a jacket. It's technically not a copper jacket. To try to get a jacket in there, really, you got to put really a right cylinder type core of lead down inside of that jacket. When you have that step on there, it's very difficult to make a stepped jacket like that.
But with 21 sharp, we have a true jacketed hollow point, and that's what we're going to be shooting against some of these other traditional 22 offerings, and we're going to see how it goes. And it'll probably be evident too when we shoot it into gel how that looks as well.
Yeah, and speaking of gel, when we're going to work with some of these competitive products here, we're going to be shooting hollow points for the most part from competitors, so that way kind of it's more of an apples to apples. I mean, rather than shooting a round nose versus our jacketed hollow point version in 21 sharp, we're going to shoot accuracy with those competitive products, kind of the same kind of deal we did with the lead-free stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to start out with ours just like we did lead-free, and then we'll go down, talk about it, and then we'll work through some of the competition.
All right, great.
All right, we're doing the Winchester 22 long rifle product, 40 grain copper plated hollow point. We're going to shoot 2 5-round groups and go down there and take a look at them. All right, Ben, Winchester. Let's see what we got here.
So this was the 40 grain copper plated hollow point at 50 yards. Jake's on the top. Zero this guy out. So the first target here we got this is lead bullets, by the way. 22 long rifle. I'll call it 0.96. Next one is 1.26. Next one is this is mine, 1.33. And then the last one, this one was not my best here. 1.9. So, lead, hollow point,
Yep.
40 grain, Winchester, Super X. You know, it's probably going to be close to, I'd say, under 1.5 inches. So like probably we'll average it out. I'm guessing it's in the 1.3 range, something like that. So
cool.
No real flyers other than this target here. There's a little bit of a spread there.
But we'll go try the other guys and see where it shakes out.
Yeah, let's shoot a couple of the competitors. So.
All right, man, we just shot the Winchester. We're calling them traditional 22 long rifle stuff. So now we're gonna do 2 competitors. We're gonna talk about them now, what they are, bullet type, velocity, and then we're gonna shoot them so we can shoot a little bit more, talk a little less. So.
Yeah. So our first one here is a 32 grain copper plated hollow point at 1640 feet per second.
Okay.
And then the second one here we got is 36 grain copper plated hollow point. So both copper plated hollow points.
All right, get these 2 shot, do some measuring, and then we'll pull out 21 sharp, see how she goes.
Okay. All right, target number 1.
All right, man, let's measure these guys, get our average here.
So this is the 32 grain copper plated hollow point at 50 yards, 22 long rifle. This is the competitive product. So top one's here, Jake. Let's see what we got. That's about it. 1.16. This one. 1.21. Right. I might have got you on this one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
.67. .09.
All right.
So, you know, again, we're going center of hole here. Extreme spread. Not, I mean, this target here looks pretty nice. I mean, compared to the Winchester stuff, this one's a little bit tighter on this lead product here. Again, 32 grain, copper plated hollow point. Yeah, so we got one more product, competitive product to shoot. Then we're going to shoot 21 sharp.
Yep.
So let's go do it.
Cool. All right, Ben and I just walked back from doing the 32 grain competitive prog. Now we're doing 36 grain. I'm gonna jump in here, shoot 2 groups, and Ben's gonna jump in. All right, Ben, let's wrap up our last traditional 22 option here.
Yeah, so this is a 36 grain copper plated hollow point. Came out of a competitive box of more of a bulk. I think it was maybe like a 500 count bulk pack. Pretty typical results that you're gonna see out of a lead bulk pack product, whether that's from Winchester, whether that's from competitors. This is kind of the accuracy that we typically see on that kind of product. So let's measure these out here. Kind of got the measurements up there already. We might have cheated a little bit, but I'll measure them here just so that you guys all trust me that I got the calipers out here and we're writing these down. So this one here, 1.51. Double check my math on Jake's stellar target right here. Yeah, 0.78. .19. 1.06. So
yeah, pretty good stuff. And I
Yeah.
mean, I think we've been pretty good about calling shots that we've pulled, and that's the great thing about having two shooters is that you can really, you know, kind of average it out and see what the results tell you. We will do all these averages here for the, you know, traditional lead bullets that we shot for 22, and then lay them out on the table similar to what we did. So Ben, let's go get 21 Sharp and try our jacketed hollow point in that one.
great.
All right, Ben, we've got the 21 Sharp jacketed hollow point out. Gonna give it a run, same as the other 22s or the 22s we've shot. Let's just refresh everybody on what this product is. You know, grain weight, obviously jacketed hollow point, and we'll give her a shot.
Yeah, so it's a 34 grain jacketed hollow point. So we actually take a copper brass jacket and put a lead core in there, similar to like what you would see on standard rifle bullets or even on like Win Mag type products. So you're getting this out of a 22 shell case, and this is what we're trying to do, apples to apples with other hollow points. So you know, we're taking these hollow point products from other manufacturers and from Winchester, and we're going to put this up to the test for accuracy on 21 Sharp. Yep. Additionally, we'll eventually shoot gel with it too, which is where you'll really see quite a bit of a difference.
Yeah, and this one's going at 1,500 feet per second, so we'll shoot it and see how it goes. Okay, Ben, just walked down, and we are gonna do the measurements on our 34 grain JHP for 21 Sharp.
All right,
so go through them.
We got Jake's up here. Zero that out. Call that one 1.03. Next one, sorry, I'm getting in the way of the camera here, but trust me. .03.
Consistency. Or luck.
This one. .99. .87. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very consistent.
Yeah,
I mean, like when you start to average those things out, it's not going to take a whole lot because they're very similar. But yeah, those are good looking targets. We will take all of these now. We'll take them up. We'll average everything out. We'll kind of compare and contrast and talk about what we saw on all these products here.
Yeah, well, let's go crunch some numbers, and we'll head up there and see what we got. All right, Ben, we just got done shooting accuracy comparison for what we're calling the traditional 22 bullets. These all happen to be in some form of hollow point, copper plated, versus the JHP 21 Sharp. We've got the averages, so let's just run through them real quick and then on to the next one here.
Well, we'll start with the first one that we shot, which was the 32 grain copper plated competitive product. Right. It shot an average of 1.03, so that's a really good group. Shot pretty well.
Yep. And then I think the next one we did was the Winchester Dynapoint.
Yeah, you're right. We might have did that one first, actually.
Yeah.
You want to start over? We'll start over.
Okay, yeah. All right, Ben, we just got done shooting the comparison for what we're calling the traditional options for 22 long rifle. These all happen to be some form of hollow point. We shot the Winchester one first, so why don't we start there and we'll just run through them in order.
Yeah, so the 40 grain copper plated Dynapoint shot an average of 1.24. It was very consistent. I mean, all the targets were almost identical, really, in terms of measuring.
Yeah, I think after that we did the 32 grain, which you have right here. You know, still pretty awesome, an average of 1.03. You know, really good shooting. From there, I think we moved on to the 36 grain copper plated hollow point, right?
Yeah, so copper plated hollow point in that bolt configuration, 1.135, and that's pretty typical for what you might see out of a bulk pack product.
And then finally we did the JHP 21sharp. 0.98 was our average. It did beat all of the rest of the competition here. You know, I think, Ben, somebody's gonna be like, well, 0.98 to 1.03, not that big of a difference. But I mean, it's a cool, different technology. It is a true jacketed hollow point. At the end of the day, I mean, the numbers, it outperformed the rest of them here.
And I think one thing to take note here is we're just shooting 2 groups per guy, 1 day, 1 rifle. I mean, your particular setup and your particular results that you may see might vary somewhat, but these results really mimic very closely what we've seen in the lab when our engineers were doing all this development work. What we're capable of doing with the 21sharp versus some of these other products. Again, not taking anything away from the 22, especially these are, like you said, these are the more traditional products here. If you were to take this, and we'll show it towards the end here, but out of all of the targets that we shot this morning, the best one that we shot, again, is this is a one-off situation, but you and I both shot 2 targets apiece. The best one was the 25 grain copper matrix.
Yeah, the lead free for 21sharp was awesome. It was the best one out of any product we shot today. So, you know, still cool, still fun. We'll put this up on camera so you guys can check it out, and then we'll move on to some gel.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, man, we wrapped up the accuracy portion earlier. We went and grabbed some lunch, and the weather's changed a little bit, so we've gotten a full day in of shooting so far, and now we're gonna do a really fun gel comparison, right?
Yep.
So why don't we tell everybody what we're gonna do, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, so we're gonna take all those products that we shot this morning for accuracy, and we're gonna shoot them into gel. We're gonna shoot 3 shots each, and then we're gonna take an average. So that way we can get the penetration. We got a camera on the block down there, so we'll have real time, see what's happening in that block, and then we'll walk down, we'll talk about it, talk through how far it penetrated, we'll pull those bullets out, and see how it goes.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna do the 22s, and at the end we'll do the jacketed hollow point for 21sharp, right?
Yep, and then I think we got enough blocks. We'd like to also shoot the 25 grain matrix copper 21sharp as well. So
okay, cool.
We'll knock them out.
Let's do it. It's a fun part of this one. Gel is always fun to shoot, so let's go do it.
All right.
All right, Ben, we just strolled down here. We got our block. But we'll walk through. It looks like a couple zipped through. We have 2 left in there, so let's talk about what we got here from the Winchester Dynapoint.
As you guys saw the groups today, the groups have been a little bit higher, so I probably should have aimed a little lower, and that's what I did on the last 3 shots. The first one, actually there's the wound channels right here at the top of the block. I don't know how you guys can see it on the camera right here, and it came out the top of the block. So we kind of saw something come out of the top of the block there when we shot from back at the bench, so we ended up shooting 3. And then, as Jake said, then we have 3 that are pretty close to each other. None of them are in the same wound channel, so that's good, because sometimes that can affect the results. But got one here at about 13 inches. The other one's right at 16 inches. This is a 16-inch block of 10% gel. And then the third one is out of the block.
Yep.
Based upon the way these first two came through, my gut feel is that bullet's laying right here in the leaves somewhere. We kind of looked around a little bit, but we couldn't find it. So I'll let Jake dig one of these bullets out, and then we'll kind of take a look.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get this guy right here at the end. So the good thing about this is you can pull them out. It won't be perfect, but it'll be close. All right, so let's take a look at that guy. So, not a lot of upset, what we would call. So there's not a lot of deformation from hitting the gel. Pretty much intact for the most part. I mean, good weight retention. I mean,
that's what you're going to see with a 22. I mean, honestly, like, you put hollow points in these things to try to create some kind of disruption whenever you're shooting something. But the reality is these things are moving pretty slow. So unless you're really close to something, or it's a very light bullet with a giant hollow point in it, it's going to be difficult for that thing to create quote unquote expansion that you would see out of a rifle. So
yeah,
it's definitely a different platform. And again, that's where you're going to see a difference with 21 Sharp. So we got a few other products here. We're going to go ahead and shoot the competitive products now, see what those look like, and then we'll come back down here and talk about those.
Sounds good. Let's go do it.
Okay.
All right, guys, we walked back. Second shot string into the gel block. This is the competitive product. It's a 32 grain copper plated hollow point. 3 shots into the gel, and we'll see what she looks like. All right, second group of shots into the gel block with the competitive one. Ben, not as much penetration as the last one, but there's some differences here, so I'll only walk through it.
Yeah, and so like I was saying when we were shooting the Winchester stuff, if you can get a deep hollow point in those products, you can create a little bit of expansion, which this product is really actually well known for that. Yeah. This 32 grain is very high velocity as well. So this one's a 1640 feet per second, and it expands very well for a 22. You get about that 8.5, this is around 8 inches, 8.5 inches of penetration, versus the Winchester one where we were going through the block, but we were running about 1,300 feet per second muzzle velocity. So quite a bit of difference there, but we'll pull this one out of here so you can kind of see what this one looks like at 50 yards.
Okay, we'll dig her out.
I'd dig it from this side. That one. Kind of close. Or you know what? How about I cut it for you? Here, I'll cut you a hole, because that's one thing about this gel is it's pretty hard. You could hurt yourself pretty bad too if you don't do it just right.
Yeah, you get close there.
Okay, try that.
Almost. Get in there. All right.
So yeah, that had some really good expansion to it. I mean, I'll let you hold it too. I just kind of wanted to see it there. But it's flattened out that top pretty nicely.
Yeah.
And again, that's kind of what this product's known for. If you know what it is, we're not here to try to hide anything, folks. Like, we want to show you how 21 Sharp performs against some of those products that are popular out there in the market today. Yep. So again, I think this was a great test. Pretty consistent penetration out of this product here.
Yeah.
And the reason we put another block up here is because, again, like the last sample, we want to make sure we catch them. Probably should have had one up there first, but as we keep going through, we'll keep that second block up there. So
cool. Let's do our third one before we try the 21 Sharp stuff.
Okay. All right, we got one last sample of competitive stuff here on 22 long rifle. This is a 36 grain copper hollow point. We're going to shoot it at 50 yards at gel and see how it goes. So, see.
All right, Ben, we are down here with our last 22 series for the gel. Honestly, like first look, pretty similar to the Winchester stuff at the first glance. You know, we did put a backer block on here, so we did catch some of the ones that came out and tumbled into the other gel block here. But other than that, I mean, you see anything else that's worth, chatting about?
Very similar. I mean, this one here is right at about, call it 15 and a half. We got another one in here that's, I'll call it 16 and a half. And then this one here, what we say is about 24 inches.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if you guys can see that one on the camera, but about 24 inches. So we'll let you dig this one out. This one right here will probably be easy to get to. They all look about the same in the block whenever I'm looking at them. Again, not a lot of expansion on this particular 36 grain copper hollow point.
Yeah.
Get one
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost identical to what we shot on the first go there. So
yeah, looks very similar to that Dynapoint product that we shot earlier from Winchester. A lot of our hollow points probably going to look similar to that. Again, a little slower velocity than that first competitive sample, and you're getting, about, I'd call it an average 16-ish, 17 inches of penetration.
cool. All right, well let's go try the JHP, the true JHP on the 21 Sharp and see what that looks like. Should be pretty cool.
Cool, sounds great.
All right, guys, we switched up our rimfire platform here. We're back with the 21 Sharp, shooting the 34 grain jacketed hollow point. We're gonna shoot it, go down there just like we did the other ones, and see what we've got. It should be pretty cool. All right, guys, we walked down here, and your crack marksman Jake dropped the point of impact a little bit lower, switching up guns. So we got a little bit too close to the table for what we wanted to see. We wanted to show you guys anyway, and we're going to talk about it. But we're also going to shoot another block just to kind of center it up and make everything equal. But Ben, why don't we just run this one down real quick while we're here?
Yeah, I mean, it's these couple shots right here, you probably can't see it from that angle, but they're real close to the edge of the table. But one, I guess, kind of cool thing about that is it actually put a hole in the table from that bullet expanding out and pushing that block down into the table. You'll probably be able to see that on the camera a little bit better than what we could even see.
Yep.
And we saw some pieces moving from downrange, but you can see why. And when you pull this block back, there's actually a hole now in that table that wasn't there before. And that's just because it's close to that edge of that block, pushing that energy down as that bullet is expanding. If you look at it, the bullets are probably between 6 and 9 inches here. But again, those two towards the bottom were really close to the bottom. So I think what we're going to do is, we got another couple clean blocks. Let's take another clean block. Let's try to hit it a little bit closer to the center. We'll get some other averages on those as well. We can take averages of all of them. But how about before we even do that, let's pull one of these bullets out because they look pretty awesome. Got some we can reach here, but again, this one right here actually is on the table. So
there we go. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So
okay.
Okay, so
that's a good example of that jacket coming back and really exposing it too.
Yeah, it looks great. And we'll show you a close up here of what this thing looks like, but expands. It looks a lot like, a rifle or a pistol bullet, the way it expands with that jacket. And that's just, when that's happening, it's transporting a ton of energy into that target that you don't really get out of a lot of 22s. That 32 grain product does do a pretty good job of that because it does expand and it does push some energy into the target. But this here takes that to another level, really.
Well, and we'll see, if the camera shows this, but, just like visually and audibly, like there's a difference in the gel moving, and there is a difference of the sound that the bullet makes when it hits it. So we'll check it out in the film. We're going to center up another block here, guys, and get this up so we can give it its just due here and shoot 3 more and compare them here. All right, guys, we're back. We're going to do the 34 grain jacket hollow point, 21 Sharp into the gel. See how she goes here. All right, we just walked down here to check out the JHP. I hope the camera picked up, but obviously a different noise when you hit the block with this compared to the other stuff we've been shooting. I tried not to put them all really close together, but shot incredibly accurate, and they are all piled right in there.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you did. I mean, we couldn't have probably set it up any better in terms of how you shot these two samples with showing that energy, putting a hole in the table, which was pretty cool. Again, I hope, like you're saying, the camera could pick up some of that noise, because we were looking at each other behind the camera and like, can you hear that? It was just a thwap that's hitting these blocks. And this group here is, I mean, you're talking 3/4 of an inch maybe for those three, and you stacked them up in terms of the penetration. They're all right at about 7 1/4, 7.5 inches. So we're going to pull a couple of these out just so you can see them, but from this angle you can tell that just like that last sample that we shot, they expanded great, doing exactly what we want it to do. And you know, it's one of those things where you don't get that out of a 22. Yeah, that 32 grain product is a great product for a 22. No bones about it. But the amount of expansion that you're getting here and that energy transfer that's happening is noticeable.
Yeah.
So you're getting an advantage there with this 34 grain JHP product.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to see the difference. I mean, we'll do a lineup of all the upsets or lack thereof here to kind of wrap this part up. But I mean, very rarely do you shoot stuff that's so similar that you can audibly hear something or even the block move. I mean, it was noticeable. Hopefully that comes through on film.
Yeah, speaking of audibly, we got the train going. So, hey, that's the way it goes sometimes, but you know what? We're having a good time, good shooting. Let's pull a couple of these out of here, Jake.
We, you know, we were talking through it, and I don't think we're gonna dig one out of here. I mean, this block is really cool, and I think we want to keep it to share with folks who have questions around 21 Sharp. But I mean, we teed that up. I don't think we should dig this out of there.
Yeah, this is like Jake Wallace's trophy 21 Sharp
yeah.
gel block right here. So it'll probably go around with us to a few shows, but again, this is what we're trying to highlight with this. And the more we talked about it, we're like, we just dug one out of the last block. All three of these look almost identical to that one that we pulled out. And this is showing the accuracy of the 21 Sharp as well as what this jacketed hollow point can do. So we're going to take some close-up video shots here of it and let you guys see it that way. And then these guys are going to live on for a little while in this old 10% block of clear gel.
That's right. All right, Ben. We technically have one more to shoot for 21 Sharp. It's the copper matrix bullet, but we pretty much know that's going to zip through both of these blocks of gels, and we're not going to find it.
Yeah, it's designed, I would call it kind of similar to your, hollow point, or really maybe more like a lead round nose. It's going to perform like that, like a 22 would normally see. But we still want to shoot it. We want to show everybody to see what it looks like. We'd probably try to set up another block. I'm not sure we'll catch it on the camera. Yeah. I'm not sure we can even fit 3 blocks on this particular table, but if it goes through 2, you kind of get the idea. These are 16 inches blocks, so that'd be 32 inches, but we're going to do it so that way you can see it. I think we got one more clean block, so we'll use a clean one up front, and then we'll have these catcher blocks here in the back.
Yeah, we wanted to recap, the rounds that are meant to transfer energy. So we want to do that here while we're down here. So as they sit here, my right to left, we have the Winchester Dynapoint. We've got the competitive one that we shot first, the competitive round we shot second, and then lastly the 21 Sharp JHP. I mean, some pretty cool stuff that we learned.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're going back to this whole, are we trying to replace the 22 with 21 Sharp? Absolutely not. But we're trying to show what the capabilities are of the 21 Sharp, how that compares to 22, just so you know. But then additionally, what kind of advantages are we seeing? I mean, today already we're seeing this terminal performance of this JHP is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The lead-free aspect and the accuracy that we're seeing with really both of these products is also really cool. So
yeah, I mean, across all the products we shot today, 21 Sharp was the most accurate. Like both products, the first one being the lead-free option, the second one being this. So I mean, it is more accurate. The numbers have told us we've shot 100-ish rounds out here today. I mean, we've shot a lot, and they've proven themselves out. But this is really cool. This, I think, we knew this, but to see it over and over again is one of the cool things about 21 Sharp.
Yeah, and you think about different end uses or reasons for having a particular firearm. obviously fun to shoot is
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah.
Hunting is another, but then also personal defense is another one. And when I start looking at results like this, it shows that 21 Sharp would be a decent personal defense round if that's all you got. You know, so you're not giving up anything compared to a 22. If in fact you're likely picking up some additional expansion and, you know, energy transfer that we saw,
Yeah.
you know, on this table through hearing it and, you know, when that thing's hitting the block. So definitely a good test. I think I feel like you've said it a couple times. I think we've been pretty fair throughout this entire process. We haven't really picked out anything. We're showing competitive products here. Again, that 32 grain product for a 22, that's
pretty solid.
It's solid. I mean, it expands pretty well, penetrates pretty good. But again, we're trying to show you guys what the 21 Sharp does, how it compares to those things. So.
All right, well let's zip a copper matrix through 2 blocks of gel, and
Maybe we'll be surprised. We'll see.
yeah, if we catch it, we'll show it to you.
All right. So now we're going to shoot 3 of the 25 grain copper matrix into 10% gel at 50 yards. We've got 2 blocks back to back and then some. So we turned a block on its side as well. So hopefully we maybe can catch one. But again, these things aren't really great expanders. There's no hollow point in them. They're basically a solid projectile. So here we go.
Not that good. We got a ton of content. All right, Ben, well, it did exactly what we said it was going to do, but we did catch one, so we figured we'd talk about it and show it anyway while we got it. So, what, 2 of them went through
38
inches?
Yeah, 38 inches of 10% gel.
Yeah.
And like you said, that one there's about right at the edge of that second block.
Yeah, he's like right.
You can tell,
right
like,
here.
I'm not sure you guys can see the wound channel from that angle, but from above, you can tell it had just slowed down enough and started to tumble and flipped over. I mean, those bullets aren't going to go that far tumbled over. I mean, they're shooting straight through this thing, staying probably pretty straight. If you look at these wound channels, there's not much of a wound channel. It's pretty much just a straight hole all the way through, and pretty. I mean, it doesn't deviate from that path very much either. So, yeah, if you want to pull that out of there, we can take a look at it, just see if it made much difference. I don't feel like we're going to see it a lot. I mean, this is much harder than lead, so
I mean,
we didn't see any expansion with
same deal
really
there.
even the hollow point lead. So yeah.
Yep. Well, like we said, did what we thought it would do. You know, we just wanted to show it because we caught it. So
yeah.
All the gel's done. We're out.
Yep.
So
21 Sharp, 25 grain copper matrix.
You know, Ben, we just got done with an awesome day here on the range. And you know, like any new caliber that comes out, you know, we had it with 350 Legend, 400 Legend, 6.8 Western. We get a lot of questions when we launch something new like this. So I think it'd be really great right now just to go through. I think there's 3 big ones that we get on 21 Sharp. The first one being, can you shoot a 22 out of a 21 Sharp or a 21 Sharp out of a 22?
Yeah, so that's a good question. The answer really should be no. I mean, these are designed, 21 Sharp's designed to shoot out of a 21 Sharp rifle only. Now, if you would happen to shoot a 21 Sharp through a 22, it will go down the barrel because it's, you know, it's a smaller diameter, it'll go down the barrel, but it won't be accurate.
Wildly inaccurate.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some people out there doing that. I mean, in terms of like safety purposes, I would never want to shoot anything out of a rifle that is not designed for, but it will go down the barrel. It's just not going to be very effective. Now, you don't want to shoot a 22 in a 21 Sharp. It actually won't even chamber.
I was going to say, it probably won't chamber in that gun,
so
right?
when we build these cartridges like that, we do a lot of things to try to, you know, eliminate dangerous combinations and things like that. So if you tried to put a 22 in a 21 Sharp, it's not gonna chamber. So if that happens and you start feeling that, you need to stop, check out what you got in your gun first. And you know, when you look at the shell cases, you're going to see on the bottom of the shell case, it's actually going to have a 21 on there. So that's going to help you identify that. And then also, if you look at them closely enough, you're going to be able to tell a 21 Sharp versus a 22.
That's good. Another one that we've gotten is what firearms are available in 21 Sharp currently?
Yeah, so right off the get-go, launched with, there's Winchester, the Expert, correct? And then also Savage. So Savage has got quite a few different offerings for the 21 Sharp. And you know, we're continuing to work with different firearms manufacturers to get them to chamber 21 Sharp. And as with any of these new cartridges, calibers, it takes the firearms companies just a little bit of time also. And so we work with a lot of different ones. So I would anticipate you seeing more and more firearms manufacturers offering 21 Sharp.
Yeah, and the last and final one that we get probably the most frequently, and I think we answered, you know, when we started shooting today, but you know, is 21 Sharp meant to replace the coveted 22 long rifle?
Absolutely not. I mean, we love the 22. We make more 22s probably than just about anything else that we build, and we plan on continuing to do that. This is just, again, one of those things where we recognize there is a need out there for our consumers, and we're continuing to look at those types of things. And there are folks out here watching this right now that are very happy that we're doing this. There's some of you that are probably still going to continue to be, you know, a little bit upset that we even tried to come up with something new, and that's okay. We get that. We'll take it. But we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop trying to build things for the folks out there who need it.
I mean, at the end of the day, Ben, 21 Sharp is just another awesome, fun rimfire cartridge to get out there and shoot. We did it today. I had a blast. I hope you had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Continue to look for 21 Sharp. If you have questions, there's always a place to answer them at Winchester.com.